Kurt Warner on Saturday will become the latest quarterback to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Marking the second straight year a quarterback who started in the 1990s will be the headliner. Warner once backed up Brett Favre, who was inducted last year. That will beg the question. Where does Warner rank among the all-time greats? The Pro Football Hall of Fame has 26 modern-era quarterbacks listed, starting with Bob Waterfield and running through Warner. Quarterbacks are a source of endless debate, and Sporting News is happy to contribute to that conversation. More NFL predictions for 2017. Just wait until Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers arrive. Here is how we seated those 26 quarterbacks at the ultimate table heading into this year's induction ceremony. 26. George Blanda, 1949-58. 60-75 right. Longevity is Blanda's calling card, and he's best known for his days as a three-time AFL champion along with a career that stretched for decades because of his role as a place kicker. 25. John Namath, 1965-77 right. Namath made the guarantee before Super Bowl III, then went out and backed it up when the Jets beat the Colts. It still stands as perhaps the most iconic Super Bowl because of the AFL-NFL implications. 24. Connie Stabler, 1970-84 right. The Snake was inducted in 2016. After he passed away, few quarterbacks had a more endearing, go-for-broke style, and Stabler used that to lead the Raiders to a victory in Super Bowl VI. 23. Sonny Jurgensen, 1957-74 right. Jurgensen enjoyed a prolific 18-year career in which he passed for 224 yards, 255 TDs and 189 interceptions. Jurgensen spent the early part of his career as a backup before emerging as a star with the Eagles and Redskins. 22. Bob Griese, 1967-80 right. Griese didn't put up gaudy numbers, but he was the leader of two Super Bowl winning teams in Miami, including the undefeated 1972 team. Griese also was a six-time Pro Bowl selection. More NFL QB rankings for 201,721. Bob Waterfield, 1945-52 right. Waterfield won two championships, one with the Cleveland Rams and another with the Los Angeles Rams. He also won an MVP award and was an all-around player who contributed as a kicker and punter. 20. Bobby Lane, 1948-62 right. Lane won 3 NFL championships with the Detroit Lions in a decade in which 6 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks were on the field. Lane also was selected for 6 Pro Bowls. 19. Len Dawson, 1957-1975 right. Dawson enjoyed a productive career with the Chiefs that included a victory in Super Bowl IV. Dawson was another efficient passer that legitimized the AFL-NFL merger. 18. Dan Fouts, 1993-87 right. Fouts helped bring Air Coryell to life, and he was a mainstay for the San Diego Chargers teams in the 1970s and 80s. Fouts didn't make a Super Bowl, but he was prolific in the form of 43,040 passing yards and 254 TDs. 17. Warren Moon, 1984-2000 right. Moon put up monster numbers in Houston and a few other stops during a productive 17-year career that amounted to 325 yards and 291 TDs. He also helped make the run and shoot offense with the Oilers fashionable in the 1990s. 16. Kurt Warner, 1998-2009 right. Warner was the ringmaster of the greatest show on turf and won 2 MVP awards. Warner won a Super Bowl XXIV with the Rams and reached Super Bowl XLII with the Cardinals. 15. Jim Kelly, 1986-1996 right. Kelly mastered the K-gun in Buffalo and led the Bills to 4 Super Bowl appearances, and that amounted to 467 yards and 237 TDs through a productive 11-year career. 14. Y.A. Tittle, 1948-1964 right. Tittle is one of the NFL's post-World War II icons, and he finished with 920 passing yards and 212 TDs. That also included 7 Pro Bowl selections. 13. Troy Aikman, 1989-2000 right. Aikman won 3 Super Bowls and earned Super Bowl MVP XXVII honors as part of the Cowboys dynasty in the 1990s. Aikman also was a 6-time Pro Bowl selection. 12. Bart Starr, 1996-1971 right. Starr helped the Packers win 5 championships during the Vince Lombardi era, and that included 3 straight titles from 1965 to 67. Starr also is best remembered for the game-winning quarterback sneak in the Ice Bowl against Dallas. 11. Fran Tarkenton, 1961-1978 right. Tarkenton, an innovative scrambler who could shut the ball downfield, played in 4 Super Bowls for the Vikings and compiled amazing career numbers with 47,003 passing yards and 342 TDs over an 18-year career. More Peyton Manning's rank among QB greats 10. Steve Young, 1985-99 right parenthesis. Young was the 1990s version of Aaron Rodgers, an efficient passer who could make plays with his legs. Young finished with 232 TDs and just 107 INTs. And he won 2 MVP awards along with arguably the greatest Super Bowl performance ever. 6 TDs in Super Bowl XXIX.9. Norm Van Brocklin, 1949-60 right parenthesis. Van Brocklin's name still pops up once in a while. And it's because he still holds the single game passing record from that time. He put up 554 yards on September 28, 1951. Van Brocklin won 2 championships and is still considered a pioneer in the passing game decades later. 8. Terry Bradshaw, 1070-83 right parenthesis. Bradshaw is one of 2 quarterbacks on this list with 4 Super Bowl championships. And he was the distributor for a dominant Steelers team in the 1970s. Bradshaw finished his career with 212 TD passes. 7. Roger Staubach, 1969-79 right parenthesis double quote. Captain America won 2 Super Bowls, reached 6 Pro Bowls and played with an improv style that made him impossible not to love unless, of course, you were a Bradshaw fan. Staubach, however, remains the standard for Dallas quarterbacks to follow. 6. Otto Graham, 1946-55 right parenthesis we single quote Rachel with a spot for Graham. A 3-time NFL champion and 3-time MVP who helped modernize the passing game with Paul Brown in Cleveland. Graham's talent stands the test of time. 5. Brett Favre, 1991-2010 right parenthesis Favre is the all-time Ironman, and his streak of 297 consecutive starts might never be broken. The 3-time MVP finished with 508 TDs and 336 interceptions and helped revive the Packers franchise with a victory in Super Bowl XXXI.4. Dan Marino, 1983-99 right parenthesis could you imagine what his numbers would look like in the present day? Marino passed for 361 yards and 420 TDs. And that was good for 9 Pro Bowl selections. Marino didn't win a Super Bowl, but that's merely a footnote given his accomplishments. 3. John Elway, 1983-98 right parenthesis go watch the drive again. Could anybody groove it quite like Elway could? He won 2 Super Bowls, 1 MVP and threw 300 TDs. There might not be a more talent, all-around athlete to play the position. 2. Johnny Unitas, 1956-73 right parenthesis Unitas threw for 290 TDs. More than any other Hall of Fame quarterback who started his career in the 1940s or 50s. He's the godfather of the modern day quarterback. And the 10-time Pro Bowler won 3 MVPs and 3 championships. 1. Joe Montana, 1979-94 right parenthesis this ranking could change once Peyton Manning and Tom Brady arrive in Canton. But for the time being, the hall belongs to Joe Cool. He was an 8-time Pro Bowl selection, 4-time Super Bowl winner and 3-time Super Bowl MVP. If you have to win one game, would you take any other quarterback?